But hey, the reason why you called in, and I forgot that we did this last year as I was looking back in the archives a little bit, but last year we made 3 bold predictions for training camp. Now, do you remember what your predictions were?
Oh, my gosh. I have no idea. I couldn't even garner a guess. I would imagine Gardner Minshew was somewhere in there, but.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to lie. I couldn't find yours. So, I mean, maybe you went 0 for 3. Maybe you went 3 for 3. My predictions were that Cassius Marsh was going to be a defensive end, which he was. They were going to implement a fullback, which they did, and then Shaq Quarterman was going to be a starting linebacker by the time game 1 came around, which he wasn't. So I went 2 for 3, hoping to improve on that performance from last year and go 3 for 3. So, Brent, do you have 3 bold predictions for this year's training camp to watch out for?
Yeah, let's do one at a time here.
Okay.
By the way, how's this sounding? Because it's raining now in Atlanta and thundering and lightning, so hopefully connection is good. You just let me know if you need me to do something else. But bold prediction number 1, which I think this will get the fan base going a little bit and the people listening, which I like. So I think sometime over the next few weeks, the Jaguars will make a trade for a tight end. I think they're going to look at their tight end room. I think they're going to look at the production. I think maybe injury plays in here somewhere along the way. And they're like, we got to do something. We got to beat this up. And maybe it takes all the way into like late August, early September. But I would say Ertz is a good possibility on the trade front. I know he did report to Eagles camp. But that's going to be bold prediction number 1. They make a trade for a tight end, not just a waiver wire or pick up a guy, a trade for a tight end. And I would say most likely it would be Ertz.
I like it. Okay. Not too shabby. I mean, that is bold. Mine are looking kind of bland now compared to that one. But my first bold prediction, and it's going to be in the tight end room as well. But it's going to be Chris Manhertz. And I've talked about him yesterday a little bit. I think that when training camp breaks, or maybe if we're in the first week of training camp, we're going to be talking about how good Chris Manhertz looks as a receiver. I think there's a reason why Urban Meyer got this guy early. I think they see something in him. I think his number hasn't really been called in terms of circumstances, the offenses that he's found himself in. I think he's got untapped potential. So I think the narrative out of training camp is going to be of how good Chris Manhertz looks as a receiver at the tight end position.
All right. Bold prediction number 2 for me. I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the football. This is a guy I really like, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to like him as well. I think Colin Johnson is going to emerge as like that third wide receiver. Maybe even coming out of camp, we're asking the question, is it Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Colin Johnson instead of Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Laviska Shenault? I think Colin Johnson's going to have a big August, and it's going to make you wonder where he is kind of on the Trevor Lawrence depth chart in his mind throwing the football.
All right, keep in mind, we did not call each other before this. We didn't talk to each other before this. Colin Johnson is one of my big bold predictions as well, but in a different capacity. I think that Urban Meyer is going to try out Colin Johnson at tight end a little bit. Now, let me put a caveat by this. I don't mean we're going to see Colin Johnson with his hand in the dirt, in the run blocking schemes, all that stuff. But I think that if we're going 4 wide here and you have a guy in the slot kind of in that tight end position to help out, chip maybe a defensive end, help with the tackle out, or run a route in the middle, I think Colin Johnson's going to be that guy. I think Colin Johnson's going to have a great training camp. They're have to find a position to put him in. And I think kind of having like that, that kind of hybrid tight end type out of him, I think Urban Meyer's going to try everything in his power to get him the ball as much as possible and get him on the field. And being maybe a hybrid tight end could be the position for Colin Johnson. So that's my second bold prediction.
I like it very much. All right, bold prediction number 3. First of all, I hope it doesn't rain this much at practice tomorrow, but it's raining like crazy in Atlanta. Bold prediction number 3, Andre Cisco did not end up on the PUP list to start. So does that mean we got a chance to see him in action and playing like right off the rip? So I think Andre Cisco is healing faster than maybe even the injury would dictate. And I think he earns the starting job at safety out of camp.
Wow. So you're thinking week 1, your starting free safety is going to be Andre Cisco.
I do, yeah. That would be because he's healthy enough. Now, listen, this isn't that bold if he's healthy. The bold part of this is that he looks like he won't be held back as much as maybe we all thought.
Yeah.
Where I was looking at him as potentially like a mid-season guy to take over for Jared Wilson. I'm going to say he's healed really good, and he's going to give him a run for his money here in camp during the starting job against Houston week 1.
I mean, that would be a huge story because, draft experts alike, they all agreed that, hey, this is a great pick. It's going to take some time to get him back and develop him, but when he's back healthy, it could be a great pick for the Jaguars. But if you get him back, for the first day of training camp and you eventually usher him in and he's starting by week 1, well, then that pick looks like a genius maneuver by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, yeah, that's an interesting one to watch. My last bold prediction, and I've said this one before, and I'm going to stick with it, I think Adam Gotsis is going to be one of your starting defensive linemen in this 3-4 defense. I think he has experience playing in it. I think that something has changed in terms of his offseason conditioning or whatever he's doing, but he looks faster, he looks bigger, and I like Adam Gotsis to be one of your starters on that Jaguars defensive line.
Yeah, I think Gotsis is interesting too, man. That's a good call because they brought him back. They like him for something, and you mentioned it. I think we talked about defensive line a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They really want to be able to stop the run, right? They're going to sell out to stop the run. So, yeah, that's good. Both predictions. Write them down this time. See if we can make them come to fruition. And ironically, we don't have to ask anything about the quarterback position. Although I almost put a bold prediction that Minshew would be traded within camp.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it'll be by then. I think it might be more. If he does get moved, I think it probably happens around Labor Day weekend.
Brent, I'm going to see you at camp tomorrow. What is the biggest thing you're going to watch for? Is it all Trevor Lawrence tomorrow? Is it all getting a good view of him, or what will you be looking for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, listen, I want to see Trevor. I want to see the work he's done with the wide receivers. I think everybody's eyes are going to go to Trevor. And then I think next up, it's going to be how are they utilizing some of these guys? We have had a lot of conversation about what does that front seven look like? Yeah. I want to know what the front seven looks like. Who are they marching out there? What kind of rotations are they going to start putting out there? It means nothing probably on July 28th. But at least I want to get a feel for how they're going to do that with Joe Cullen's defense.
Absolutely. Brent, man, we appreciate you calling in. I shall see you tomorrow. Yeah, man, have a safe ride back, and best of luck to Ty when he starts hitting that bracket tournament.
All right, man. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow at camp.
We'll see you tomorrow at camp. Casey, yeah, any bold predictions for us? I mean, feel free to chime in here as well.
Yeah, I had one for Colin Johnson, but everybody loves Colin Johnson, so I guess that's
kind of the X factor, I guess. But no, by all means, please.
No, I agree with Brent.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna pop. But the one nobody talked about that I feel strongly about is I think Walker Little is going to be a starting tackle.
Okay, and probably at the left tackle spot then for Cam Robinson.
So
okay.
I think he's going to look healthy, first off.
Yeah.
Obviously better than Cam Robinson. I think he's your starting left tackle in Houston.
Okay. I'm not mad at those. So you think they get rid of Cam Robinson, take him to Houston?
Yeah.
Okay.